Good day, everyone. This is Chris Dunn with Getting It Done. This is where we talk to ordinary people who are really extraordinary people about how to get it done. And that's whatever your it is. Now, today, the it is dog training. We got a great guy here today that's going to talk to us about dog training. And the thing about dogs is that they are amazing. Great for a person, great for the family. But your experience with your dog is even better when your dog is trained. Today's guest is Willie Cooper, the dog whisperer. Now, Willie Cooper works for the government for the Department of Agriculture training dogs, and he also trains dogs competitively in an international sport called schutzhund. How you doing, Willie Cooper?
Good evening, Chris.
It's actually daytime.
It's kind of dark in here, but yeah.
All right, so thanks for being with us today, and we're going to get right to it, okay? We got a new family or person that just brought a new puppy to their home. How do a new family or person train a new puppy?
Wow. So a brand new puppy brings about a lot of excitement for everyone. You got to determine who's going to be primarily responsible for the puppy.
Okay.
A lot of parents like to say, well, they talk to the children, hey, you have to, get up and you feed the dog and take it outside for a walk. But more than not, it ends up being the parents who do the job. And then not only that, it all depends on the age of the child, to comprehend. Ideally, I would say always when you bring a new puppy into the house, contact a trainer, because I'm a trainer and we like to train. But your question is how we're going to do it as a family. And so if you have no experience, the next best thing is to get a book, go to the library and find a book to read on how to train a dog. But I will tell you here as a family and training a new dog, you primarily want your dog to be able to sit when you tell them, to go down when you tell them, to walk on a loose leash, and to come when called. Those are the primary basic commands that you should teach your dog.
Name those commands again.
So it's sit, down, come when called, and to walk on a loose leash.
Okay.
And so with that, the dog must want something from you. And that's primarily your relationship with the new puppy. It's going to be a lot of time spent playing with it, a lot of times ignoring it. There's going to be a lot of mistakes made, and the most common mistakes is dog relieving himself in the house. Well, I will tell you that's a primary handler, owner responsibility, and to get the dog out. Dogs, and especially new puppies, need to be on a schedule. Puppies are creatures of habits. And so when you create habits for the puppy, they primarily will continue to offer you behaviors and expect certain things at certain times. Now, importantly, again, I said your puppy must want something from you, because a puppy that's going to lead you around won't need you. They expect you to follow them every place, and they will start to train you in how they want to be. Okay. And they don't necessarily want to do what you want them to do. You want them to sit, you want them to lay down, you want them to come and call, but that's not really what they want to do. They want to use their nose to scavenge everything around the house, and if they're extremely bored, they want to tear up something. And so that's why your eyes must always be on a young puppy.
Okay.
But again, starting, feed the dog yourself. That will be your first task in training your young puppy, is to literally feed them out of your hand. You're sitting there with them, and a lot of puppies are aggressive with it, but that's part of the bonding period that you have with the dog. Bond with the dog, enjoy the dog, or must I say puppy, and that is the start of your relationship to training the puppy.
Earlier you mentioned the commands like sit, down, stay. Can you demonstrate any of those commands for us today?
Yes. So I have a 8-month-old puppy called Deuce,
Okay.
the pit bull puppy, and yeah, I will grab him.
Okay. All right, we got a demonstration happening. He's about to show us how to get it done.
Hey, Deuce. And here's one of the first things I talked about, Chris, is like, this is feeding time for Deuce. And so in the feeding time, what I do is I just take in the food and I just feed the dog out of my hand. I spend time, leave it. So this is the aggressive part, I tell you. So he's trying to take it from me, but he has to learn that this is my food, right? So I take it and I give it to him. And this is also him learning to eat from my hand. And it's a slobbery job. You will have slobber all over your hand, but that's what soap and water is for.
Okay.
Okay, Deuce. So I'll take this and put this to the side.
Okay.
And you gotta understand, Deuce has already had training to the point where he always wants something from me. And you can see right now, he offered me the behavior sit. So I'd give him some food for that, I reward him. But he's to the point I also get commanded. So in training, especially a young puppy, I don't give the command. I always have the food and I put them in a position. And just keep giving them food. They get used to being in these positions because guess what? They want the food from me, so. So that's a sit, and that's him going down. And I do all these things. And I play with him. Come on, Deuce. See, but I always have a treat. I have something. Especially when they're young puppies, my reward ratio for them is 1-to-1. They do something for me, I give them a reward. I pay them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go through a few demonstrations of what I do with Deuce to reinforce these commands. Okay. And it's come like a game, and you can see that Deuce is already to the point where he is offering me behaviors because he's been rewarded in this position enough. And it gives a good sight and good picture to the people like, oh, my dog just loves me. And he do love me, but he also wants something from me.
Right.
Now, if Deuce didn't want anything from me, guess what? I wouldn't be able to have this type of relationship with Deuce. So it's good. I got the food, you know, and he giving me the love. It's a good trade-off.
Right.
And he behaves like this, and that's a good thing. So, Deuce, come. Good boy. So, and I'll give him a piece of food for it. Deuce, down. Down. Good. That's a good boy. In your house. In your crate. In your crate. And I'll throw a piece of food to him when you get in his crate. Deuce, come. Good. Good boy. Down. Yes, good buddy. So you see how Deuce hesitated because he really wants the food, but I gave the command once, he understood, and he went down. Once you start getting the puppy down, then you can start walking around a little bit, and then you come back and reinforce the down. Good buddy, good down. Okay, the last thing that I talked about, what you want your dog to be able to do is to walk on a loose leash. You know, I suggest that every family go out and get a martingale collar for their puppy. It's actually a nylon collar that which is actually could do a soft compression on your puppy's neck. And with that in the concept and why we have collars because if you look in the wild and dogs amongst themselves, involved with themselves, the way they correct each other is through their neck. They bite each other on the neck, and so it's like compression, the push and everything. So I'm going to put this on Deuce. Deuce, come. Good boy. We put his collar on. And for the purpose of here inside the studio, we don't have much room to actually go out for a walk. But ideally, when you have your puppy, you want to just keep him, come on, walking with you. And I suggest when you first start walking on a loose leash and teaching your puppy, it's just keeping it real short distance. And the puppy get out to the end of it, you can pull them back and you just keep switching directions. Puppy go in one direction and he get out too far ahead of you, then you go in the opposite direction. Like I say, Deuce has been on a number of walks already, so he pretty much looks to me for everything, which I am the leader and he respects that, but he really respects it because I always got a biscuit for him. Ain't that right, Deuce? Good buddy. And Deuce loves his biscuits. Down. Good.
All right, Willie Cooper. Thanks for joining us here at Getting It Done. I would have to say, you definitely got it done today. You showed us a lot of great stuff. So is there anything you want to say to close out?
Yeah, just remember when you got a new puppy to make sure, you create that bond with them and you feed the dog so that the puppy can actually want something from you and always looking for something from you. And the 4 primary things that you need a puppy to do is to sit down, come when called, and be able to walk on a loose leash.
There you have it, folks. Willie Cooper, Getting It Done. And thanks for tuning